Fools run 5K, 10K. I did the 5 this morning. Finished first overall. Actually 18 flat. It's on the Ghost Town Trail. We started down in Blacklick, a mile 0. Did an out and back, about like 1.4 out. Because then we finish a little bit farther back in Sailor Park to finish. Felt pretty good this morning. The weather was like 55, 60 to start. So the best it's been so far this year. And it was so nice to get that change of pace of warm weather compared to what we've been having. Legs felt good. I got like 7 hours of sleep, which is unheard of. Just ate a Nugo bar instead of my traditional this morning. I was kind of worried about that, but I thought it'd be enough calories that I'd be fine. I'm trying to think here. I got here early enough. The race was at 10. That's why I got like 7 hours. It wasn't an early one. Pretty good crowd. I think 170 pre-registered. It's probably about what showed, give or take a few either way. Got warmed up. Wasn't really motivated. Tried to keep myself in like a deep sleep till about 5-10 minutes till. Did use my bib boards today. They really do work pretty good. It was just hard getting them on compression shorts, reaching down my pants. But when we started, I looked around at the people because there's 2 different color bibs. Yellow was for the 10, white was for the 5. So I sort of knew who my competition was beforehand. So just wanted to make sure I kept an eye on that. So I didn't want to have to push if I didn't have to. Being an out and back, I would have known once we turned who was in front, who was in back, but I also wanted to know who was in front heading out, just to try to save some energy. I did probably start a little too fast. Buddy Colt was here today doing the 10. He's a faster guy, and I stuck with him for maybe about a mile. Not, well, sort of stuck with him. Still had like 2 seconds, maybe 3 at the most on me, but I used him early on as like a pacer for that mile before dropping back a little bit because I didn't want to maintain or try to because it just would have blew me up. It was pretty straightforward. Since I knew Colt was in front of me doing the 10, there was other guys immediately, well, maybe not immediately, you know, whatever, behind me. The ones who were immediately behind me were in the 10K. So I watched a little bit as I looked back. So I wasn't too worried competition-wise. So I just kept running and plugging along, cutting the corners as best as I could since it's a rail trail. Like the little S's, I tried to take them as straight as possible. The trail itself was pretty dry, even though it poured. When I say poured, it poured last night at like 1 in the morning. Like torrential downpours, wind, there was lightning, thunder. It woke me up at 1 in the morning. Lasted for at least an hour in New Florence. I was actually kind of worried that the trail was going to be littered with leaves, or not leaves, but like sticks, branches, trees. There's actually nothing on the trail, which is shocking after the storms we had a couple weeks ago. They must have cleared everything up that was going to die. At least for the 5. I don't know about the 10. I didn't hear nobody say there was anything on the 10, so they're probably pretty safe as well. Unless people cleaned stuff up this morning. But the only wet spot was really at the beginning here, at mile 0 for like the first 50 yards or so. I could feel the mud hitting my butt, just splashing up, hitting the wet spot. Other than that, it was, I would say, relatively dry. I mean, you can find a dry spot the rest of the course. Yeah, just plugged along to the turn about like 1-4, whatever it is. Turned around, looked at my watch. I want to say it was 8:20 on my watch, 8:21 when I hit the turn, and then I didn't see nobody for 20 seconds or 21 seconds who was wearing a white bib. So the next 5K person was 40 seconds already behind me at the turnaround. It was this woman wearing black clothes. So I kept that in the back of my mind. And there were some people, I think, immediately following her. But she still had a couple seconds on them. So I felt pretty comfortable having that lead, 40-second lead at the turn. Figured, you know, if I at least double it, that's a minute 20. And I could pull back and relax a little bit, not having to turn and burn. So I did scale it back just slightly. Probably could have pushed a lot harder and, you know, went for, I wouldn't have went for a PR today. I don't think I wanted to, but I felt good. And at least the first mile, like, it was on a PR pace before dropping back. It's a steady incline going out, like steady downhill coming back. Times did get slower coming back, even on the downhill, which should have been faster or as fast. So you can tell I pulled back. And then I just passed the masses heading out as I headed back. I think I won by like 2 minutes. I'd have to look at the final results. If she hung on and finished second, then I won by 2 because she was like 20 flat. If she got past, then it was a little less than 2, but I at least had a minute because I hung on at the finish line for a minute before going to get my camera and setting it up to tape the video of the finish line a little bit. Other than that, not much else to talk about. Saw a lot of friends, got to talk to some people today, which was really nice. It was so nice to actually have nice weather. The vehicle says 71 right now. I don't know if it's actually 71 or if the sun's hitting it, making it feel that way, but definitely feels super nice just standing there for awards and watching people finish and taking some clips. Felt like my skin was burning a little bit, getting a little sunburnt. So hopefully it's things to come. I know temperature's going to drop today, and the storms are coming back through later on. So I got to get some yard work done. But all in all, a good day. I won. One step closer to my goal. Training, I guess, obviously has been going good since I was able to put down an 18 flat on flat rail trail, which I run horribly traditionally on. Other than that, I'm glad I came, and you know, the Roadrunners put on another good race. Guess that sums it up for today.